all of your favorite recipes.
Simply Food.
You should know by now that you're in for a treat.
Simply Food.
There's no other channel where you'd rather be.
Simply Food.
Seafood, pasta, cakes, and pies. Sing and laugh and even cry. Like and share and hit subscribe. Simply Food by TY.
Alright, I'm back. Today we're making sloppy joes. Let's get into it, Chad. Alright, y'all, so let's go over these ingredients. You're going to need some brown sugar, some Dijon mustard, Worcestershire sauce, 1 onion, tomato paste, smoked paprika, chili powder, garlic powder, onion powder, some accent. We're also going to need ketchup, 1 green bell pepper. I'm working with 1 pound of ground beef. And for my element of spice, I will be using 1 Thai chili and 1 jalapeno. You see that? You see that? You see that? Don't ask me for the damn ingredient list. Come on. Okay, you guys, so prepping this really does not really take much work at all. Now, this is a relatively large onion, so I'm actually only going to be using half of this. And I kind of want to make sure that the onion and the green pepper are relatively the same size. You could honestly do this in a food processor if you want it to be super small. But I'm essentially just going to go in and I'm going to mince down my onion as well as my green bell pepper. But if you want yours chunky, that's also fine. There's no real right or wrong way to do this, to be quite frank. You kind of just do what you want. And like I said, the same rule is going to apply for the green bell pepper. And if you want to use, the tricolor peppers, you can really load it up with peppers. A lot of people also sometimes like to add in, stewed tomatoes. I'm not a stewed tomato person. So, that's just not my thing. But, if you wanted to, you could absolutely add this to this recipe and it would, I'm sure, still be absolutely delicious. Now, like I said, in this recipe, I'm going to be using a jalapeno and a Thai chili. As far as the jalapeno is concerned, I actually am not really using this necessarily for the, the heat that it kind of gives off. I really more so want the flavor. So for the jalapeno, I'm actually going to be removing the membrane and the seeds in the center. You can keep it in if you want, but I'm not really using this necessarily for the spice. I'm going to get my spice element from my Thai chili pepper. Now that I've gotten those de-seeded, I'm going to go on ahead and take the stem off of my Thai chili pepper. And now just give all of this a mince down. And of course, if you are not a person that enjoys heat, then you can absolutely leave this out of the recipe. That is totally fine. I have made this a million times without these peppers, especially when I'm going to be serving it to kids. This is a fantastic meal that you can make for your kids, to be quite frank. Especially if your family enjoys spice. But if they don't enjoy spice, you could still make this recipe as I'm doing and literally just leave the peppers out. Will still be delicious. And that there is all of the prep work. This recipe really doesn't take a lot of time. You can put this whole thing together in about 15 minutes. We have our green bell pepper, our onion, and then our pepper blend. Let's move on over to the stovetop. Now, because I'm working with some pretty lean ground beef, I'm working with 85-15. I'm going to be adding in some avocado oil to the bottom of my pan. And I'm going to begin to brown off all of the veggies. We're honestly just trying to get these slightly translucent before we begin to add in the beef. I'm going to add in just a little bit of black pepper and some coarse kosher salt. I decided if I'm going to be making some sloppy joes, I might as well make me some corn on the cob. So I have some fresh corn in here, and I've literally added in just enough water so that it can steam. I do not want my corn to boil. So just thought I'd let y'all know I'm making that as well, honey. These veggies are looking absolutely fantastic. They're starting to become nice and translucent. So now we can go on ahead and add in the ground beef. Like I said, I'm working with 1 pound. And I'm just going to go on ahead and break this up. And while our meat is starting to cook off, let's go on ahead and start adding in our spices. I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of chili powder, and a half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. A few dashes of the Worcestershire sauce, and the optional half a teaspoon of the accent. Give all of this a good mix. Now this ground beef right now, I would say is about 85% the way done. I don't want to fully cook it off right now because I want to go on ahead and get all of the other elements in it to create our sauce. And then I'm going to turn this down on low and allow it to cook low and slow for about 20 minutes or so, because I like my sloppy joe to kind of melt in my mouth. I don't want it to be chewy. I'm now going to go in and I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of some tomato paste directly to the center of the pot. I've kind of created a little well This is going to ensure that we're going to have a nice, robust tomato flavor. Kind of allowing it to kind of just warm up in the center just for a few moments, just to kind of let it warm up a bit, and then I will fully incorporate it into the meat itself. Go on ahead and mix it in and allow this to cook for about 1 to 2 minutes before you add in anything else. Ensure that all of the ground beef is completely coated in that tomato paste. This is looking absolutely fantastic. In a dry measuring cup, I've added in 1 cup of ketchup, 1/3 of a cup of water, and a 1/2 tablespoon of the Grey Poupon, or Dijon mustard of your choice. I'm going to add in about 1 tablespoon of some light brown sugar. I'm going to reduce the heat to low, and now fully mix. Now what I'm essentially going to do is I'm going to allow this to cook nice and slow and allow that water to kind of burn off. And then this is going to get nice and thick and super concentrated. You can also go in, give it about 10 minutes first, but then after about 10 minutes, go in and then begin to start to salt to taste. As you can see, I've not added in really many elements of salt at all because I like to add salt as I go, in particular to this recipe. And if you want yours a little bit on the sweeter side, you can add in more. If you want yours a little bit more spicier, but you don't want to add in any actual jalapenos or the Thai chilies, you can also add in some cayenne pepper. Again, I've turned the heat down low, and I'm going to allow this to cook nice and slow. I'm going to partially put the lid on. And just to show you guys what my corn is looking like, I literally just put in enough water, like I said, so that it can kind of steam, and I allow that water to essentially burn out. And then I just go in, I add in some garlic butter, some salt, pepper, and then a little bit of parsley, and that's how I like my corn. Alrighty, you guys, I've allowed this to go for about a good 10 minutes or so, periodically giving it a mix. And as you can see, it is now thickened up absolutely beautifully. This is exactly what I want. I've gone in, given it a taste for additional salt, and this is it. It's good to go. This is the consistency that I love mine to be. So now let's go on ahead and plate it up. All right, y'all, let's go on ahead and let's load this bad boy up. And this is literally how simple and easy it is to make a sloppy joe. This is how I like mine. Some people like to top theirs with cheese. I'm not one of those kind of people, but it's literally just that simple. I'm telling you guys, there really is no need to be making it from Manwich. All of the ingredients you probably already have in your house. Just make it from scratch, honey. All right, y'all, let's go for a taste test. Absolutely fire. It's just something about making it from scratch. It's so easy and it's so much better than Manwich. Make this. You're welcome.
Slaying in the kitchen.
Simply Food by TY.
We hope that you enjoyed it.
Simply Food by TY. If you haven't took the time, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Simply Food.